I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. So we continue now in Mormon again. This is the final battles. The Nephites are being swept away. They're fleeing from before the Lamanites. Mormon himself is now 75 years old, or close to it, and he is still leading the people now in this defensive war, but there is no hope. It appears from the letter we read in Moroni chapter 9 that Moroni is no longer in the ministry, but is in the military. And that's where we're at. We're at the final conflict between the Nephites and the Lamanites. And we pick it up now in Mormon chapter 6. And I do apologize, I had a fan running, so you may have heard that in the background. But I have shut it off, so now let us read Mormon chapter 6. And now I finish my record concerning the destruction of my people, the Nephites. And it came to pass that we did march forth before the Lamanites. And I, Mormon, wrote an epistle unto the king of the Lamanites, and desired of him that he would grant unto us that we might gather together our people unto the land of Cumorah, by a hill which was called Cumorah, and there we could give them battle. And it came to pass that the king of the Lamanites did grant unto me the thing which I desired. And it came to pass that we did march forth to the land of Cumorah, and we did pitch our tents round about the hill Cumorah, and it was in a land of many waters, rivers, and fountains, and here we had hope to gain advantage over the Lamanites. And when 384 years had passed away, we had gathered in all the remainder of our people unto the land Cumorah. And it came to pass that when we had gathered in all our people in one to the land of Cumorah, behold, I, Mormon, began to be old, and knowing it to be the last struggle of my people, and having been commanded of the Lord that I should not suffer the records which had been handed down by our fathers, which were sacred, to fall into the hands of the Lamanites, for the Lamanites would destroy them. Therefore I made this record out of the plates of Nephi, and hid up in the hill Cumorah all the records which had been entrusted to me by the hand of the Lord, save it were these few plates which I gave unto my son Moroni. And it came to pass that my people, with their wives and their children, did now behold the armies of the Lamanites marching towards them, and with that awful fear of death which fills the breasts of all the wicked did they await to receive them. And it came to pass that they came to battle against us, and every soul was filled with terror because of the greatness of their numbers. And it came to pass that they did fall upon my people with the sword, and with the bow, and with the arrow, and with the axe, and with all manner of weapons of war. And it came to pass that my men were hewn down, yea, even my 10,000 who were with me, and I fell wounded in the midst. And they passed by me, that they did not put an end to my life. And when they had gone through and hewn down all my people, save it were 24 of us, among whom was my son Moroni, and we, having survived the dead of our people, did behold on the morrow, when the Lamanites had returned unto their camps, from the top of the hill Cumorah, the 10,000 of my people who were hewn down, being led in the front by me. And we also beheld the 10,000 of my people who were led by my son Moroni. And behold, the 10,000 of Gidgadonah had fallen, and he also in the midst. And Lama had fallen with his 10,000, and Gilgal had fallen with his 10,000, and Limhah had fallen with his 10,000, and Jeniam had fallen with his 10,000, and Cumanihah, and Moronihah, and Antionum, and Shiblam, and Shem, and Josh had fallen with their 10,000 each. And it came to pass that there were 10 more who did fall by the sword with their 10,000 each. Yea, even all my people, save it were those 24 who were with me, and also a few who had escaped into the south countries, and a few who had deserted over unto the Lamanites had fallen. And their flesh and bones and blood lay upon the face of the earth, being left by the hands of those who slew them, to moulder upon the land, and to crumble, and to return to their mother earth. And my soul was rent with anguish because of the slain of my people. And I cried, O ye fair ones, how could ye have departed from the ways of the Lord? O ye fair ones, how could ye have rejected that Jesus who stood with open arms to receive you? Behold, if ye had not done this, ye would not have fallen. But behold, ye are fallen, and I mourn your loss. O ye fair sons and daughters, ye fathers and mothers, ye husbands and wives, ye fair ones, How is it that ye could have fallen? But behold, ye are gone, and my sorrows cannot bring your return. And the day soon cometh that your mortal must put on immortality, and these bodies which are now mouldering in corruption must soon become incorruptible bodies. And then ye must stand before the judgment seat of Christ, and be judged according to your works. And if it so be that ye are righteous, then are ye blessed with your fathers who have gone before you. Oh, that ye had repented before this great destruction had come upon you. But behold, ye are gone. And the Father, yea, the eternal Father of heaven, knoweth your state, and he doeth with you according to his justice and mercy. I do love Mormon's lamentation here. Now, note a couple of things. Remember, with the Jaredites, everybody had flocked to one of two armies until they could go to their final battles and just wipe each other out. And we get the same basic thing going on here. So, in the 384th year, they had all gathered to Cumorah. We don't know exactly when he sent this epistle to the king of the Lamanites, how long they've been gathering. The last date we were given was 375 years, and that was when they began to be driven before the Lamanites. So this is about 9 years later. They've been at constant war, and the Nephites constantly losing for 9 years. Moroni, he says he began to be old. He is now 74. This is in the year 384. He was born in 310, so he is 74 years old. Note also the size of this army. They're the commanders, each with their 10,000. We had Mormon, Moroni, Gidgiddonah, Lama, Gilgal, Limha, Genium, Cumaniha, Moroniha, Antionum, Shiblam, Shem, and Josh. That's 13. And then they say another 10. That's 23 with their 10,000. 230,000 are killed on the Nephite side. We also have, I guarantee that they killed quite a few Lamanites. They probably killed nearly as many Lamanites. So we're talking a battle in which 500,000 people are killed, and it lasts for 1 day, apparently. Now there are also these 24 men who survived. We don't know what armies they were under, what commander they were under. We know that Moroni and Mormon were both commanders, but we know that the other commanders didn't survive. These 24 men are probably among the more righteous. Mormon and Moroni survived because they were righteous. They were prophets. They had the Lord with them personally, even though the Lord wasn't with the army. Note also that Mormon is wounded. He's 74 years old in this battle. He is wounded and left for dead. That's why he survives. I'm guessing these 24 men were the more righteous. They were the ones that were still faithful, that still held on. I think most of the other commanders were also faithful, but these 24 were also faithful. And also note that even though this is the last battle, the final battle, not all the Nephites are killed. Some defected to the Lamanites. I believe they would stop being Nephites at that point. They become Lamanites. So we don't count them. But the some, it says, escaped into the south country, meaning they circled around the armies of the Lamanites and got out into the wilderness. And we also have these 24. There are probably other pockets of Nephites that still exist at this time. It is just that as a people, they no longer exist. They have been destroyed as a national identity. Over time, they will all die out. But at this time, right now, they are not yet all dead. On a final note, I did mention that Mormon himself is 74 years old, which would mean that Moroni is about 50 at this time. Maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, but he's around 50 years old. So this is the destruction. Now Mormon has a little bit more to write for us, so we will pick it up in chapter 7 next. I will see you there.